My name is Aisha. I'm a medical sonographer. So I made this video to talk about the field of medical sonography. I've been in the field for approximately 1 year now. I went to a school here in South Florida. It was accredited, so right after a year into my program, I was able to sit for one of our exams, and then when I graduated, I was able to take my registries, which is very important in finding a job. And so I want to talk to you guys about, I guess, getting into the program and I guess maybe the difficulties in the program and then finding a job afterwards. So I got into the program in 2016. The program was approximately 2 years long. And in the program, it was a bachelor's degree program. So I've got a bachelor's degree, and since I already had one, I also got another master. I got a master's degree, not another one, just one. And so in order to get into the actual program, we had to have certain prereqs, and they're kind of similar to nursing prereqs, which is anatomy 1 and 2. You had to have a math, and I think it was statistics or algebra, and then some humanities. You needed to have humanities, and then your ENC 11 1 and 2, and I think you needed developmental psychology, if I'm not mistaken. And so we also have to write a personal statement of why we wanted to be a medical sonographer. And so after I submitted and I needed letters of recommendation. After I submitted all of those things, I was accepted into the program a few months later. And then the journey began. We started in the summer, and so we did 1 year of just classwork. So we had class Monday through Friday, and then we had not clinicals, we had lab. So that's where you get to practice scanning on each other. And then we had clinicals for 1 whole year. So some schools, they combine both the clinical and class together, but at the school that I went to, we did it separately. So we did 1 year just schoolwork, and then another year just straight clinicals. It is very difficult to have a job during I think any professional program, because your schedule changes all the time. So unless you have a job that's super flexible, I wouldn't advise it. There was one person who had a job throughout the program. She eventually had to quit, but she literally did not sleep. And I think it was an overnight job. So it's super, super, super tough. But sometimes you have to do what you have to do. So if you're in that situation, I would say that it is not impossible. It's just really hard. And so the program itself was hard. I'm not going to even lie. Like, you may look at ultrasound and think, oh, that seems like it could be super, super simple. It's super easy. You're just taking pictures. That's it. No. Not in the least bit. I can talk about that in another video about the anatomy and everything you kind of have to know. And you do get better at it. I'm not going to lie to you and say it's impossible to learn. You can learn it and you will get better at it. You just have to keep practicing it. And it's something that it doesn't come naturally. So you're literally scanning with one arm and then typing with your left if you're right-handed. So that part was super, super difficult. You have to have good hand-eye coordination. And so, so far I've been in the field for 1 year. I will tell you guys that it's tough, but I love my job. I love scanning. I love finding pathology, and it's great when you actually know what you're looking at. So I would say that if you are in ultrasound school and you're like, you know what, this is not for me, don't give up. I was there. I wanted to quit so many times. It was super, super difficult. My teacher would yell at us all the time, like, what are you doing? You know, but it's because he wanted to see us succeed. So I would tell you, don't give up, guys. Don't give up. it doesn't matter how difficult it looks like you're never gonna get it. You could be the person in class that takes the longest time to do an exam. It doesn't matter. You're gonna get faster. I would say when I first started, an exam that takes somebody with experience probably took me an hour to do, but them 15 minutes to do. So, but now, since it's been a year, I can do that same exam in 15 minutes. So you're gonna get better. You just have to keep on, pushing and don't give up. And so after 2 years, I sat for 2 board exams. One is my abdomen and another one was my vascular. And before you can take those 2 exams, you first have to pass something called the SPI, and it's based on physics. And so they want to know that you understand the physics of ultrasound. And so I will say that the physics is very intimidating, but don't let the word physics intimidate you from not taking the exam. Because if you don't get registered, it's going to be super difficult to find a job. Not impossible, because I know some people who have found an ultrasound job without being registered, but it's super difficult. And why make life harder? Just take it. I studied a book. It's an Edelman book. It's a green book. And I would say that the exam itself is based on concepts. And so even if you're not in ultrasound school yet, don't let the fear of, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to take physics and I'm going to have to pass this exam in order to take more exams. Don't let that stop you from applying to an ultrasound program if that's your dream, if that's what you really want to do. Because physics is just literally one exam. And I will say that the more familiar that you get with the ultrasound machine, the more physics will start to make sense. But if you try to read the book and then take the exam, it might not click. It's like you have to read the book, scan, read the book some more, scan some more. Because when you put 2 and 2 together, you realize how much it correlates, right? And so there's certain things that I didn't understand from reading. I'm more of a visual, hands-on type of person. So when I actually saw it on the machine, I'm like, oh, that's what dynamic range is. Or that's what it means by depth and all these other things. So don't let that stop you from sitting for your SPI, because you just have to do it. You just got to do it. And as far as taking abdomen, vascular, any of the boards, I will say that they are difficult, and my advice is to do a lot of practice questions. Don't let the first time that you actually see a question is when you sit down for the exam. Do a lot of practice questions. Even when you're in ultrasound school, do a lot of practice questions, because some of the exams that your teachers may give you, those questions might be in some of those books, because it's like, how many ways can you ask a question, right? So if you keep doing a bunch of practice questions, find some online, find some from Quizlet. There's so much information out there. Just practice questions, practice questions. That's what we did. And a few people that I used to study with, and we did really, really well. And we all passed our registries. And so everyone that I graduated with, most people have more than one registry, which is like amazing. So don't let the fear of testing stop you from pursuing this career, or any career at that. It doesn't matter what it is. And so I guess I will continue to talk about ultrasound on this channel. If you guys have any questions, I don't want to make this video super, super long. And so if you have any questions or anything that you want me to talk about, I will. And I want to make another video about salary and about how to find your first job. When I graduated, I was offered 3 jobs, and they were all full-time. And so I can give you guys tips on pretty much how I put myself out there, places I applied to, little tricks that I used to find places that were hiring. So let me know if you guys want me to talk about anything specifically. Okay, thank you, bye.